What is going on, guys? It is 8:37 on a Saturday night, and I am working in the trenches right alongside you guys. And I've been working on some pretty cool stuff, and I wanted to just share, kind of what plan of action is for this next coming month with one of my clients for electrical. And as I'm here getting ready for our shoot on Tuesday, following Labor Day. Just wanted to show you guys how you can, one, make a lot more money with your ads, and two, really streamline the process when you are filming so that you can get a lot more ads with literally only one body or like value, like meat and potatoes section. Okay. And this is somewhat of a newer strategy that I've been implementing, and it has been working incredible because we've been really focusing just on the hooks for the ads, right? Rather than the actual value meat and potatoes section. You really only need, like 1 to 2 to 3 of these, depending on how much money you're spending. But most people in the group aren't spending a crazy amount, so you really only need one value section. But you can create so many different ads from that one value section just by putting different hooks in the front. Okay. And it works way crazier than you would think, and you wouldn't believe it until you see some actual numbers. And that's actually what I'm going to show you here in a second too, is some actual numbers. And I'll actually show you the ads that I'm running for the Skool group right now and show you how just changing the front part of an ad can entirely change the outcome and your return that you're going to get on the back end as well. Okay. So before we dive into this here, I just wanted to kind of go over my layout of how I actually put our shot list, our script and whatnot into a document. So that way, when we go out and film everything, we already know what we're going to do. We just have to execute it. And we can get this done, typically in like 2 hours or less. We're averaging about, hour and a half, but it just really depends on, weather, how everybody's feeling, all that good stuff, because we like to have fun here. And then the thing to really keep in mind too is just putting that extra effort in, right? You don't want to rely on ChatGPT for everything, and you want to think, outside the box. And how can you differentiate yourself when it comes to this stuff? Because with ChatGPT, everybody's just putting in the same prompts and everyone's getting out the same stuff. So how can you be different, right? That's why if you see ads, right, and you're looking at them, you're getting a bunch of ads on your feed, and you should be clicking on them, you should be watching them and seeing what's working, what's not working, what do you like, what do you not like. But what I notice, and I'm sure you do, is that everybody says the exact same thing. And it is so crazy to me. I mean, it makes sense because people are inherently lazy, but we don't want to do that. If we just take a little bit of extra effort, we can have, 10x the outcome on the other side. And plus, you want to be different than everybody. You don't want to be the same. Even if people, even if you make an ad that offends people, right, that's okay, because you are not, one, you're not going to please everybody, but two, you just have to be yourself. And you have to, experiment with different things to be able to, do this. Now, another thing to take into note here too is that when we're coming up with our new ads, what I'm doing every single week or 2 weeks, however you guys want to do it, but for this we're doing every 2 weeks, right? We go into our ad account and we see where are we getting the most return from, and then we take that everything from that ad or the top ads that are working, and we just remake it and we make it better, right? Because we want to get 10% better every time, and then we want to see how much more creative that we can get so we can hook people. Okay. So not going to really dive into the offers today because it's for another day, but I always put the offer at the top here so that way we can see, this is what our offer is. $0 down for a panel install, no payments for 12 months. Get a safer home today without torching your wallet, right? We also throw in a 5-year warranty there too. It doesn't have to be some super crazy thing. Some people always like to do, or you don't pay, right? Well, that's not necessarily realistic for this type of business. So we're going with a standard, $0 down, because that's a big thing, right? Panel upgrades are very expensive, but we don't really give a crap, if it's expensive or not, because we can offer financing. We still get the money in our pocket, makes it easier for the customer, right? Now, you can see here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hooks, right? We film all of the hooks first because it takes the least amount of time. We can get that done. And we're going to pair each one of these hooks with this body text, right? So we're only filming one body text, but then each time we're putting on this hook, we're putting on this hook for the next one. This third hook, that's going to be, on there too. And then we're going to swap it out for this one. And then we're going to swap it out for this one. Okay. And think, how can we be different, right? So super simple one, because we're kind of blending professional with also fun, right? So first one's going to be your new panel can be installed this week, $0 down, a 5-year warranty, easy hook. Then we go into, if you live in Denver and your lights flicker, breaker keeps streaking or tripping, or your home still has an outdated electrical panel, you're living on borrowed time, right? Just goes to that. Same here. Denver homeowners, I have a gift for you. And one thing that we really like using too is that using props. For whatever reason, you have higher click-through rates when the props are, you have higher hook rates, people watch for longer. So I also would highly encourage you guys to use props. You've probably seen this in my ads as well, where I say, hey, business owners, I have a gift for you. And I'm holding a really nice gift box, right? So you can do that. One thing that we're going to do this week is you might be wondering, well, I just caught a banana. We're literally going to throw a banana at the business owner. And then he's going to say, you might be wondering why I just caught a banana. And the reason why is because what I'm about to tell you is absolutely bananas, okay? Another one here, we're going for emotional safety hook here. So this is the smartest thing you can do for your family today, okay? And then we're also going to do a shot of Luke getting electrocuted, per se. And then going, do I have your attention? So we're going to basically put him up against a panel with like a fork and have him kind of jabbing in there and pretending like he's electrocuted. So I don't know if you've seen the ads where I put my hand in the garbage disposal, kind of same concept here is we're trying to go for that shock and wow factor here, okay? Now, arguments I get sometimes from people is like, oh, well, some people might not think that's professional, blah, blah, blah. And my rebuttal to that is like, you gotta play or you gotta cater to the platform that you're on. If we were making a TV ad, we wouldn't be doing something like that, right? Because it's just more professional, it's a different demographic, but we're on social media. What gets people to pay attention? It's those crazy, weird things, right? So we want to do stuff that's different that other people aren't doing, right? How many electrical companies do you see that are actually playing into these types of things and making fun or having fun, I should say, with this, right? And if, I urge you guys to try to find a hole in what I'm telling you, considering that the electrical company that we're working with, just did back-to-back months over, 100K. I think last month was like 170K in revenue, which is great. Also hired I think maybe 4 new guys now because we're just growing the crap out of this company. So it's super exciting. So you put the hooks right here. You got your 5 hooks, and then you're going to have the body of your script, right? And this is still going to be the story brand method that we talked about. This is where the script itself sounds professional, right? But when we go out and film it, we're going to have fun. We're going to use, different voice inflections. And I'm going to be coaching, the people that are on camera, like how to say these things and how we can have fun. Okay. Let's put your body text here. And then you're going to have the shot list, right? At the end. Okay. So we always start out, we film the hooks, then we film the body text, and then at the end, that's when we get like all the B-roll, funny types of things. And then I also in here too, like this one, Luke wearing a hard hat, holding an hourglass when he says on borrowed time. So that is going to be shot at the same time, when we're doing this opening hook part right here. Okay. So it kind of blends into it, but it's just used as like a reference. So that way, when we go out and we actually shoot this stuff, we're not going all over the place. We're not acting like we don't know what we're doing. We're going out there, we're crossing things off as we go, and it makes the process very simple, okay? So for this shot too, Luke holding a flickering light bulb, so we're just gonna have him hold a light bulb, and we're gonna be able to edit it to make it look like it's going on or off. Luke trying to plug in a Tesla charger with nowhere to connect it. We're going to have Luke stacking bills on the table with a big red surprise stamped on graphic that's going to be overlaid, right? So use of props here. This one, when we introduce, we want to have a professional credibility here to show that, obviously we like to have fun, but we're a real company that knows what the heck we're doing. So I always like when we introduce ourselves, I always like to have it, how do you say it? Just more professional, okay? Same thing here. We're going to go to solution, Luke holding a giant sign with $0 on it. So we're going to have a calendar that's going to have a big red X and a circle on the middle that he's going to point to. We're going to have, a phone ringing, Luke answering it on the first ring with confident LG Electrical. And we're going to have like a big pop art, text bubble type thing that's going to pop out there too. And then shot of Luke pointing down, once we, tell people, hey, make sure that you, click the link below to, submit your info, and we'll call you in the next 5 minutes. This is what Luke's gonna be pointing down at the screen. We're gonna have him make some funny faces and, have some fun with it. And then also just for the professional aspect of things too, just because we like to have both. Some of these we might not use, but I always like to get more and then cut out what we don't like and then, use what we do like. And we'll have him standing for the van along with his team beside him too. Okay. So this is how I like to structure everything. So again, just offer at the top of the sheet. Then we have our hooks that we're going to film. So we're going to film that first. Then we're going to film the body text. And then after that, we're just going to go through the different shot lists. And then that's literally a wrap for the day. So it makes it very, very simple. So before we end this video, I'm just going to show you guys literally just the past couple days for my own ad campaign that I'm running for the Skool group. And I'll show you how just changing the hook changes the click-through rates with the exact same body and the exact same CTA. Okay. So let me get that pulled up here for you. All right, so I have my own ad account pulled up here, and you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different videos right in here, okay? And the value section and the CTA, or I should say like the body and the CTA, are the exact same. The only difference on these is just gonna be the first, 10 seconds, if that. And I mean, you can see from the top here, right? This one has a 4.9% click-through rate, which is absolutely bananas. We want to shoot, for a 1.5%, which is really, really good. 2 is even better, but to be at a 4 is absolutely insane. We have a 2.55 right here. We have a 2.48. This one has a 4.76. This one down here, 1.69, right? So you can see the differences in these guys just off of what you're saying in the first couple seconds can mean all of the difference, right? And then even going further over, right, we can see we have, 2 purchases from this guy, 3 purchases from this one. And, again, these are soft metrics, right? As far as, because if this was 1%, but we had 20 purchases, right, it wouldn't really matter. I'd keep that up. But you're just going to get cheaper traffic when it comes to people submitting your forms and whatnot. I know this is like a little bit different, but I just wanted to show you guys from my own ad account, because I'm obviously running ads for myself. That's how you got to this group in the first place. But it works, and it works really well. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is you test. Okay. So I hope this little mini training here on a Saturday night helped you guys out, and I'll actually upload this into the actual course itself too. But this is super valuable information, and it'll make your lives a lot easier. So make sure to implement it, and let me know if you have any questions.